No data, no internet, no app needed. You heard right. Freely dial 1605-562-5302 in the USA with unlimited minutes and tune into Q95 FM radio all the way in Dominica. You can listen to their 24-hour programming in the USA on your phone by dialing 1605-562-5302. Have 1605-562-5302 on your speed dial today. Call 1605-562-5302 in the USA to listen now and at any time with unlimited minutes. 1605-562-5302.
We are happy that the organization Propel, they have done a consultancy for the Barbados market, and looking at the high-end market in Barbados, and very soon we will be exporting at least 2 containers of fresh agricultural produce to Barbados on a weekly basis. So the prospect
L'Express des îles qu'a présenté puis on fait qui tout petit pas ça plus petit qui ça c'est $250 pour aller vivre Martinique Guadeloupe cette les lundi et jeudi, and there's the Zen trip for $310, the Flex round trip for $380, and the new baby red pour enfants badenandi pour $160. L'Express café aisé pour whole famille à voyager. So take a break, visiter Martinique Guadeloupe cette les à sous l'Express avec c'est aussi pour carte l'Express, the Express Plus card ou que tu payes un free ticket pour chaque 5 tickets ou gain ensemble et puis les autres bénéfices. L'Express des îles toute l'année ensemble.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk, another Tuesday morning where we bring you information on real estate, the process of buying and selling real estate in Dominica, information on all things real estate, commercial and residential. We continue to bring the experts to you that will help you in the process of buying, to give you advice, to direct you in how to do it right and do it well so that tomorrow it will not cost you headaches or money, especially money. When we come back, I will introduce my guests and we'll take it from there. And today we are looking at mostly properties that that is inherited. How do we go about inherited? So when we come back, we will discuss that a bit further. You listen to Real Estate Talk with Marianne John Finn, the real estate lady, the best source for all your real estate needs. We'll be right back.
Talk with host Marianne John Finn, the real estate lady, the best source for all your real estate needs. Real Estate Talk is aired on the big station Q95 FM every Tuesday morning from 10:15 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Real Estate Talk is talking primarily on all things real estate, commercial and residential. We talk about the real estate market. We talk about the market conditions for buying and selling. We talk about choosing a professional real estate agent. We talk about financing your purchase and finding the right property. We engage the experts with specific roles in the process of buying and selling real estate. Real Estate Talk every Tuesday on Q95 FM from 10:15 a.m. with host Marianne Johnson.
Thank you for joining me and welcome back to Real Estate Talk. As I said, that the purpose of this talk is to give information as to what's happening out there in real estate. I mean, it's very important that we need to engage, and when we engage, we know how and why we are doing certain things. I have with me in studio this morning Miss Joanne Commodore and Miss Vincia. She's Miss Joanne Commodore, Deputy Registrar, qualified at the Registry, and Miss Vincia Auguiste, Deputy Registrar, unqualified. I thought it was, the last time they were there, it was very short, and I thought because now I have a little bit more time that I can invite them to speak more on other aspects of real estate. And I think there is so much at the registry information the registry can give us in that aspect. So Miss Commodore and Miss Auguiste, welcome again to Real Estate Talk.
Good morning to you. Thanks for having us.
Good morning to you and your listeners, and thank you for having us again.
Oh, thank you and welcome. We want to focus a little bit on inherited properties. There's lots of that in Dominica. What must be done in order to have legal rights to properties that will willed or not willed to you? I know that can be a broad statement.
Your statement, your question in and of itself, I have to clarify a bit. If you say inherited property, then automatically you are entitled to it because you've inherited it. What I think you're asking is what has to be done to, quote unquote, as we say in Dominica, have that paper on your name. Where there is a will, whoever is named as the executor will have to probate that will. And this creates a fiduciary duty. And they have to administer the estate in accordance with the wishes of the deceased. Where there is no will, then someone who is entitled must apply to the registrar in his capacity as registrar of probates, because I did say on the last occasion that the registrar wears many hats. And we don't have separation of registries per se, except in companies in Dominica. And so the registrar must then put on his probate hat to administer letters of administration where the person has died with no will. The administrator is not guided by a will, so he's guided by the law, which is the Real Representative Act and the Intestate Estate Act. So once you get the probate, because remember it's a stage by stage process to get property, because we're talking about property this morning, onto your name. So the executor or the administrator then applies to have the property transmitted to them. And I'm using the legal terms because people just throw them all around, which is why I'm talking about probate, letters of administration, and transmissions. So it's transmitted to them. At this stage, the property can be put in the name of the executor or administrator, but it is important to note that the executor or the administrator does not own that property. And I want Ms. Auguiste to help me here, because you do not own. What it does is it creates a fiduciary duty, and you are now able to administer that property.
Have the authority.
You have the authority to administer, but it is not your own. No.
Okay, go ahead.
So you have to administer the estate in accordance with the law and the circumstances of the matter. So typically, and Ms. Auguiste can help me here, that step, transmission is normally skipped, right, Ms. Auguiste?
Generally, it is.
Yeah, you can skip this step, but not the fees.
Not at all. Not at all. So,
Ms. Auguiste, I take it
so
okay.
Simply, what we have, you have two instances. Under a will, the testator, that is the deceased person, will name the executor, and most of us, we're familiar with that. So a person will make the will, and in the will they will name so and so as my executor, trustee, etc. of this my will. Good. There's no confusion. So you have an executor. When there is no will, the person is said to die intestate, but there is no will. Consequently, the law determines who can apply for a grant of letters of administration to deal with the estate of that person who died without a will.
And this is where the Intestate and the Real Representative Act come in, because the Intestate Estate Act tells you who can apply, who is entitled to benefit.
Can you give me an example of who can apply?
Well, the spouse, first off the bat, the spouse is normally the chief person who can, and then the children. And this it gets a little more troublesome where there's none of that. Then it goes to the parents, I think grandparents.
No, after the parents
is the sibling of the whole blood, whole blood, and then siblings of the half blood.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, so your brother and sister with the same mother
and father. They take precedence over just a half sibling. Yes.
You want to continue?
Yes.
Well, the thing is that some of the answers are in your other questions, so I don't want to give too much, but
Miss Auguiste wanted to continue.
Okay, good. So you have an executor where there is a will, an administrator, no will. Good. But both of them have the same power, so to speak. Right? So what happens is when they get the grant, then they can transmit. That's what we refer to as transmission. They can transmit the property of the deceased person to their name as personal representative.
But this is normally the step that is skipped.
Right.
Okay.
However, they can skip that stage.
But
they
not the
can-
fees, huh?
Right.
All right. Don't go and say
They can
don't go and say we say you can
that
skip.
stage.
You can skip
Right.
the stage and not the fees.
That's
Government
correct.
needs the
The
fees.
fees, right. So you can skip the stage and transfer it directly to a beneficiary, right? So let's say in the will, the testator or the deceased person said, my property in Rosewood to my child, my daughter. Good. So you will have a memorandum of transfer, transferring the property to the daughter.
Right.
Straight to the daughter, not to the PR.
Right.
Then you pay only transmission fees. She is a beneficiary.
So they
and
don't
so-
pay fees.
Very right.
And that is important to note because
As
a lot
well.
of people say they don't have the money yet. It's really not regarded as a usual transfer.
So you don't pay the 7.5%, all of that. There's maybe
not
just
to
one.
inherit property. You
Not
pay the
to
2% transmission fee.
So it's 2% transmission
Transmission
fee
fee.
for inherited
Plus
property.
$7.50
Yes,
stamp
For
duty.
properties that is you are inherited, that is transmitted to you. So don't be
Transferred
afraid.
to you, yes.
Transferred to you. So don't be afraid that if you are you should inherit a property. Don't be afraid to go through that process because the fees are only 2%.
It
plus.
can still
be
cost you money,
substantial.
because you do have to do the probate area
Yes.
part of it.
Tell me about what is a probate.
Okay. Well, strictly speaking, probate is the process of proving that a will is valid and thereafter administering the estate of a dead person according to the terms of the will. So it really is a judicial act or determination, and sometimes it might fall to the lot of the court. For example, where you have small estates, it's a bit of an anomaly in our in our jurisdiction that we have this small estates being done by the judges
Yes.
and the others grant of probate being done by the registrar. But that is how it is in our jurisdiction.
Okay.
The practice of probate in a nutshell involves the preparation and drafting of wills, applications for grants of representation, and the practice and procedure relevant to caveat, because you can caveat for property as well as
The applications.
as probates and citation. It's called citation in some countries.
Right.
Family provision applications and probate actions. Now I want to make it clear that we're only on a 30-minute program,
Right.
and so these are broad answers,
Right.
because there are situations that would be more involved
Specific, yeah.
and would be, of course, would involve further action and more situations where we would have to apply the law or it would have to go to court, etc. But these are just broad.
Basic. In a
Yeah.
situation where it's clean and clear. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
so the probate basically, as I told you, is process of proving that a will is valid,
valid.
and administering the estate.
Cost. Is there a cost for creating a probate or getting a probate? What is
Yes.
the fees for that?
Well, it really depends on which process we're looking at.
Okay.
So do you really want to go into all of that, or can we?
Not necessary. I thought, let's say, for
It's not as, because really some of the fees are going to do with the value of the estate.
so it's based on the value of the estate.
Not as cut and dry as it is with transfers or part transfers.
Oh, because there
But
are different situations.
They
where-
are, it's just that because they all take place at the principal registry, people just assume, but really and truly in other countries there's a registrar of probates and then there's a registrar of lands who are not the same person. In Dominica, it's kind of lucky that we do have it embodied in one person, but it really is not the same registry.
Okay.
It's just housed in the same building.
Okay, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will continue. I think we have a very needful, because a lot of persons in Dominica may be able to identify themselves if asking questions. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. You listen.
CCU continues to transform personal financial services in Dominica, helping you accomplish your long or short-term financial goals. It's your financial solution to increasing your assets, pursuing successful career opportunities with mortgage loans, vehicle or land purchase, debt consolidation, loans to further education, medical or domestic expenses, not forgetting our now for now or quick cash loans. Accomplish your goals, realize your dreams. Visit any NCCU branch today and get your loan solution advantage.
Good morning, and welcome again to Real Estate Talk. We have a call on the line. Caller, good morning, and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Blessings to you and your panel.
Thank you.
Very interesting program. I would like to know if a will was made and the person leave the inheritance for others and not a child or children, they have the authority to fight for any of the inheritance?
She's asking if someone dies and leave their property for someone who's not their children, can the child contest that will?
This simple answer, and remember we're talking about Dominican law. I hear that you have a Barbadian accent, so
yes, I am.
I'm not 100% sure if it's the exact same thing in Barbados. But what I can tell you is that yes, the short answer is yes, you can.
But
although you're in your sound mind?
Sorry?
Although the person may are in their sound mind.
This is what I'm getting to.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm getting to. You can contest the will based on several hundreds of reasons. Even if the person was in sound mind, you could have said that they were tricked, they were under duress. There are a lot of things. Yes. You can also say that the property was left to you before, and that is a very tricky area. So it really depends. I can't say that, no, you absolutely have no right. What I am going to tell you is that it is difficult. It is a difficult area of law.
Okay.
So it can be very tricky. But the short answer is, of course, yes, you can take pretty much any application to the court.
So if you write the will then stating what you giving the inheritance to others, that they can still contest it still?
All of these things will, if the person insists on contesting it, yes, they can. It's just a matter of how successful they'll be, and these things will, of course, come up in court, because the court might employ, for example, the armchair rule, where they'll put themselves in the seat of the testator and decide and look at the situation and decide, okay, what was the testator seeing, what were they possibly feeling? So there's a lot of flexibility in probate law for the court. But when it comes to situations like that, I don't think anybody can actually tell you yes or no until it actually goes to court. But it's not that you are automatically barred simply because a will exists. No.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And let's continue. Thank you so much for your call. We have another call on the line. Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
To the panel and to the listening audience, it's a very good program.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
If a father has children and then he put one of his children as his power of attorney, but for some reason they end up falling out for whatever reason, and then he has asked the person with a written letter that he's not interested anymore to have them as his power of attorney, and this person refuses to write the letter, to sign the letter that came from the lawyer. If in the event that the father dies, what can be done at that stage there, please?
Okay. You've addressed a completely different area of the law. Power of attorney really can only be given to somebody when you are alive. Upon your decease, then the power ceases to exist. So really and truly, that problem has solved itself. If he has passed, then nobody has power of attorney because he is no longer alive. Power of attorney is really not the same as representative grants. So I want to make that very clear. Some people use them interchangeably, but it really is just, a lack of knowledge. They're really not the same thing.
So having power of attorney
is only when the person is alive. A personal representative for an estate is when the person have died, but you need to apply for that position. You need to apply to you need to go through the process of granting that permission. To actually get the probate document in your hand,
yes, you must make an application.
You must apply
for that.
So,
yes.
Okay. What if I have a situation and it's a little I can go personal with that a little bit. So my grandfather died. My aunt became the legal rep, right? But I found out that the original title was in Senkory for another aunt, but that one who got the legal representative passed on. She passed. So what happens now with that? What happens? So she's the personal representative of my grandfather's property.
Yeah, the will, your grandfather, the will.
I don't know. I don't think
so. She applied for letter.
She letter.
That's administration.
But on the title it says she's the legal representative.
Oh, so she already transmitted it to her name.
To
So
immediate
she's as PR of your deceased
Deceased
grandfather.
son.
right.
Okay.
But she only transferred part of the property to her, and the rest have not been transferred.
Oh, she already. Oh, so she intermeddled. So we're looking at the bonus now, right, Miss?
Yes.
August?
But she was trying to sell the entire estate.
Yes, but
I
the
found
fact
out.
is that she has
She
already
can,
intermeddled.
yes.
So whoever is applying now would have to apply
For
for
a
grant
second
of the
grant,
bonus.
yes.
Yes, but it's possible to apply. The property, however, because I think that was one of your questions.
Right.
It is important to note that if Miss Auguste, let's say Vincia is the administrator,
Right.
or the executor,
Executor.
right? She dies and she has a will, and she was supposed to administer my property.
Right.
Her personal representative now has to administer Vincia's property as
Which
well as
includes-
mine. No, it doesn't include mine.
Okay,
in
I
that
understood
sense.
now. I understand now.
As well as mine. Okay, it doesn't. So my property doesn't get absorbed into her property so that she can then give it to who she wants. Absolutely not.
So the person who inherited or who has the legal representative for your property has to also administer.
they have to administer.
Administer,
So
not
if I-
sell it, not take it.
Selling
not
can be
apply.
part of
Yes,
administering
that's
because
correct.
there are certain debts that take precedence, and that is why the personal representative has certain wide
Powers.
latitude. They
We'll
have
discuss
certain
that one a little bit.
Okay.
So, but I have a call on the line. Let's take that. I think
Okay.
it's important. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, good morning. Very interesting program. I have a two-part question after this scenario. A father dies in 1990, for example, and he has 4 children. He lives one of the children as executor over his will, and he has a property in the will. He leaves it equally to his 4 children. This is 2016. Years later, the will has never been probated. The executor has never administered it. And there are only 2 surviving children left, the executor and one other. If this executor was forced to administer this will right now, and the father left the land to his children in equal portions, does the land now is the land now to be divided in 2? What is the scenario? I'm interested in this question, in this answer.
The estate. Well, in a case like this one, sir, what happens is that all the children would be entitled to benefit from the estate of their father. However, since 2 of the children are deceased, the estate would be entitled to benefit from the property which was left by their father.
So my father died, and so when that property has been administered, my grandfather's property has been administered, his portion it goes to his estate, to my father's
because
estate.
in that situation he has actually taken the trouble to
actually
saying who could get what.
Who
If
would
it
get
was
what.
a situation where he had no will,
So if there's no will,
then it would have been divided among the remaining children.
okay.
So in this situation, you're talking about 1990. What you should do is the executor should go ahead
Right, he's still
and
alive.
get that.
So he can force
grant?
the executor force him to do that.
Yes.
Can him?
Yes, he can.
He can
These are
force him.
citation procedures. Yeah.
Well, sometimes
yes, you
they're
can.
not aware of what they can do.
Right.
So since this individual knows what should be done, you could have a discussion with him.
Yes, I would not advise that you just go full blaze.
You are the executor.
yeah.
Right. You are the executor.
Go ahead and
There's
administer it.
There's a procedure in
Process,
place which has to take place. Go ahead and do that bit. And there are costs involved, and that's
Right.
why some persons do not do it.
Right.
There are
But if the
costs
executor
involved.
is not interested, of course, he
You're
can
right.
revoke.
His spouse.
Yes, he can revoke it and have somebody else
Yes,
apply. The other
administer.
beneficiary can do so.
Okay. Let's take another call. Caller, good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Good morning. I need some information. I am in possession of, let's say, a will, and I'm the executor. Now, the estate is not registered. There's no certificate of title. There is house and land. What is the process going forward?
Okay, have you already probated the will, sir?
Nothing.
Okay, so that's your step one. That's your step one. You need to probate the will. After that, then you can simply apply for first certificate of title. So it's really, it might seem complicated, but it's really not as hard as you think. So your first step, sir, is to go ahead and get your document probated.
Okay. Now, I have the land plan and all these things, so I have to get a valuation on that?
Yes, you do.
And then in probating, they will have to go to the registry.
Yes. In situations like yours where you have a first certificate of title looming, we would recommend that you go to a private attorney to get that done.
A private attorney?
Yes, we would recommend that. The registry, and I want to make it clear, does not offer legal services like that. So it would be best because of your situation and because you may be out of time. Not out of time per se, but I imagine that some years have elapsed.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not a year, but then when things like that, family and everything.
Well, yes, I would. That's why I would advise a private attorney, and that's a question that Marianne had asked us whether or not we can give advice. And the truth is that no problem on this program, but the truth is, as registrars, we really are barred from doing that. People do get very mad at us.
I understand.
But I want to make it clear. So in your situation, I would advise that your step one. Get your document probated, and everything is going to flow from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We have another call. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you, sir.
Good morning to your panel.
Thank you.
I'm calling from the registry. Good morning to the registrars, Miss and Miss Commodore.
Good morning, Hati.
I have a question for you. A scenario. You have a mother died and left us their 8 siblings, and the property was willed to the 8 siblings, equal ownership. But one of the siblings, who is the administrator, is overseas, and it's a number of years now, and she have not come down to probate the will. What can be done in that case?
Okay, as Ms. Auguiste was suggesting an amicable approach, the first thing you could do is have a discussion with her and try to persuade her, because really and truly we are in 2016 and being overseas, being in Timbuktu is really no excuse for you not to be able to apply for a grant of probate. This is 2016 after all, and there are very modern ways to do it. So the first thing I would do in your situation is to amicably approach that sibling, because we are talking family here. And not because we're attorneys do we always advocate fighting. So we would advocate first that you approach the person. However, if they insist on not doing it, well, this is where you can either A, ask them to revoke, or B, you're going to have to take them to the court to say why they are refusing to take grants.
Okay, what are the procedure in having the person revoke her?
It really is a document, huh? They file it as an application, they file it.
We can file it here, or she's have to file it over?
No, here. Well, she has to sign it, so it can be literally
notarize it wherever she signs. It needs to be notarized, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
So that would be the step one. Amicably approach it. After that, there are indeed legal ways that you can either force her before the court to say why she isn't taking grant, or have her stepped over, because the court can also choose somebody in her place.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome, my dear.
Thank you so much. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Castaways Development Limited residential lots for sale at only $10 per square feet. Average size 8,000 square feet. All infrastructures available. Most lots with awesome ocean view. Just a minute walk away from the black, silky, sandy beach of Miro, one of Dominica's most beautiful and popular beaches. Castaways Development Limited. Residential lots available. Contact Marianne Johnfin at 225-2121. Email mjohnfin@gmail.com. Website diamondrealtyde.com.
We all need to feel safe, no matter what life brings our way. With United Insurance, you can be sure your vehicle, home, business, and other prized possessions are well protected. United offers a comprehensive range of general insurance solutions to suit your needs. And our excellent AM Best ratings says we have the financial strength to protect your assets. Across the Caribbean, we have a track record of helping clients get back on their feet quickly after disaster strikes, providing prompt, professional, exceptional service. So whatever life brings your way, trust United to protect the things you value most. You're in safe hands with United. For more information, contact your nearest United agent today. Call JB Charles & Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini at 448-3012, or LA Dupini & Company Limited at 448-2310.
You're in safe hands with United. And welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate Talk. I'm Mary Ann Johnfin, the real estate lady, the best source for all your real estate needs. We have another call on the line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning again, and thank you for your response earlier. Reference the scenario with the 4 children and the land to be separated. However, the case in point is that the executor is not interested in probating the will. He is actually selling off the land and taking all the proceeds of those sales for himself. And the 2 children, within the 2 children who have died, one has children and one does not have any beneficiaries. So what can be done, please? Thank you.
So I'm very puzzled. How is he selling the property?
Well, he can because he has the power to.
No, but he's saying that he didn't
to.
probate it. That's what.
Oh,
so
yes,
didn't you say that he
true.
didn't probate it? So are you sure? Maybe he lied about that.
Yeah.
Because
he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Yes.
Well, so honestly, I have a few more questions that I would need answered. To me, in your original statement, you said that no grant was taken. So I am now stumped as to how he would have the authority to sell.
So it was not probated.
Well, we can't say that because
no, he said
that's what
he
he's saying.
He was the executor of the property, but
if he's named executor in the will, that is not enough, for you to go ahead and sell property.
He has to apply.
He has to apply for the grant, and without that grant, which I'm saying that he may have not been honest about this part. If he's selling off the property, how is he doing it? Is what I would like to know.
Wow.
Perhaps maybe you should go down to the registry, take a look at that title, and see what's going on that property. And if anything, you'll have to caveat it.
Wow.
Because I don't know.
Okay, let's take another call. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk. Oh, we lose that call. Okay. Caller, you may call back if you wish to. So this was a little bit of concern to you as to what is happening.
Yes, we would need to delve deeper because originally I understood from what he was saying, and I could be wrong, of course, that he had not probated the will. And so now I'm puzzled as to where he gets the authority to sell
because
property.
he said that he refused to come to do anything.
I think he might not be honest about this. I think he may have applied and he's using the grant to sell.
Oh,
in which case
he did not make them. He did not give them information.
He probably just didn't tell them that. But it's kind of difficult to understand how else he would get the authority.
Wow. Let's take another call. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, you all are using some terms like within local or the lay person might not be able to understand. Like probate, we love. If you little bit of knowledge, can understand those things.
I know we have, in defense of the lawyers, sometimes we just need to take down information and go research it. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but take a pen and maybe take the word down and take up. We have iPad, we have things in our hands. That do your own research, and because she did explain what a probate is.
I did explain it at the start of the program.
Can you do it again?
Yes. But a simple way to think about it, really. I think initially, when we started our discussions,
we gone
did
into
say
what it was.
You die with leaving a will, you die without a will. Right. And in these cases, when that happens, you apply for a grant of probate or you apply for a grant of letters of administration. Now, I think some persons understand a grant of probate to be like a document, and it is sort of like that. When there's a will, you apply to the court for a grant of probate, and what you receive in your hand is a document. That document gives you the authority to
go ahead and
with the
deal with
land,
the property,
to sell it, to transfer it, to administer it, to that sort of thing.
But you see, the thing is that you also need to understand that there is need to use proper English terms when you're addressing certain situations.
There's no other word for it anyway.
Yeah, there really is no way around it. And probate is not just having the will in your hand. It is the process of proving the will. It is the entire process surrounding the whole situation. So, perhaps we need to get into the habit of knowing what certain terms mean. You don't have to know all the legalese behind it, of course.
It's okay to know. It's okay to find out.
But in the beginning of the program, we did say that, what a probate was, etc.
Let's take another call. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate. Our phone lines are ringing. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk. I've lost that call. Okay, we've lost that call. And Ken, I wanted... Okay, he's back. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Good morning again. Another question. If an elderly man went to do his paper for one of his daughters,
what paper?
And then he realized after the results came out that she tricked him and he put more than the amount of land he was supposed to give her on his document. What can be done to retrieve that, please?
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is.
Oh, well, he can simply redo his will.
He can do another
He's
will.
not bound. He is not bound by his own will, no?
But what paper he did? Did the transfer?
Yes,
already?
that's what I want. Oh, sorry, we didn't clarify. I assume that you meant he did his will, ma'am?
Yes, it's a will.
It's a will, right? It's not a transfer or a deed of gift.
No, it's a will.
It's
Just
a
a
will.
will.
Okay, well then he
A
can
will
simply
can
redo
be-
revoke
yes,
his will and do it again, or...
Let's take another call.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Welcome.
Thank you. There's another call. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to everyone. A mother has willed her property, that's the land, her land property to 4 children. 2 of the children were the administrators. All the children are now dead. One of the children of the administrator has taken on the position of administrator, but not to share, just to engage it as her own, and refuses the rest of the children to do anything, to plant or to do anything. Like she feels she has the authority to tell people to go there, don't do that, do this, do that. But you spoke about probate. Yes, the wills of each of them had been probated. How to proceed with that scenario?
Can we take one more call? Can you hold that question? There's one.
It is.
It's very complicated. Okay, go ahead.
Concerning, ma'am, what I would advise you to do, I think you need to go to a private lawyer, because I don't know, considering the amount of time we have on the program, I would not be able to get into all the details. Briefly speaking, if you're telling me that each of the people who are deceased had wills, then how did this person end up having any of the property to deal with? That's what puzzles me. Secondly, I think you said that, let me just reiterate, when you are a personal representative, you do not own the property. You have the right to administer the property in accordance with either A, the will of the deceased, what the dead person wanted, or what the law says you can do. So she does not have a right to take the property as her own, but that is the simple answer. However, your situation sounds a little more complicated, and as an attorney, we would like to delve into it more, because there would be 1,000 questions we would have to ask you. So my advice to you right away is to get a private attorney, or go down to legal aid and get yourself some advice, because it sounds
It's puzzling.
Not puzzling, it just sounds involved.
Yeah.
Wow. When you say involved, what do you mean?
Meaning that there might be a lot of research to be done, a lot of information that you would have to give before the attorney can properly advise you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Miss Auguiste, you are from the Kalinago territory. And I found out that, just to go off a little bit, because I don't know when you'll be back again, transfer, are there areas in Dominica where transfers of title cannot take place?
Well, quite correctly, the territory is one of these parts in Dominica, or places in Dominica, which cannot legally be transferred. The lands in the territory is really vested in the council. The entire lands of the territory is vested in the council, and the council have sort of custody of these lands. So you cannot, for example, an individual who's living in the territory does not have a certificate of title for any lands in the territory on an individual basis.
So
right?
is it from Siniku to Antrizla Kingston?
No, to Bataka.
So
for example, Atkinson, Antrizla, and you're going further down that way,
right,
they have certificates of titles for their land.
Wow. There are many questions I would like to ask on.
It's a
on
very
that.
tricky area of law, and it really is present wherever you see an indigenous person or indigenous people have been given reserves. So they do have it in certain places in America where they've given some of the Indian tribes, etc. So it's a bit of a tricky thing. I think we are St. Vincent has a similar situation.
I believe so.
Maybe Belize and St. Vincent are the only other countries in the basin, and Belize, I'm speaking loosely because they're not quite in the basin, that would have that situation.
Perhaps Guyana as well.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Perhaps,
about that.
yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. For me, it's.
But that is the long and short. And I would imagine that other areas where you cannot quote unquote transfer land, because there's nowhere that is per se restricted except for our national parks and the territory, etc. Other than that, then it's the owner, whether it's the government or private, who decides if it's for sale or not.
Any advice to our people? What advice as registrar, attorney at laws? You are attorney at law.
Yeah.
Advice to, because it seems that seems to, from what I'm hearing, some of us are afraid to engage the law, maybe for financial reason, maybe for just fair.
Okay.
It's always good. It's always a good idea to engage counsel on whatever you're doing. If it's just, even if it's just a grant, if it's just a will, even to do a will, simple things. You understand?
Yeah.
It's always a good idea to get counsel.
Yes, absolutely.
To assist. We always advocate that.
I also want to add that it really is about you and what you have to do for yourself. Part of that is educating yourself about your society and what happens and how things operate. So don't be afraid to go and learn the law and speak legalese and stand up and talk to the lawyers. There's nothing wrong in that. So whether or not you hold a law degree, I'm not saying that everybody are lawyers. I'm absolutely not saying that. But to some extent, you can educate yourself. And
so
that's
if you engage a lawyer, ask a question. Don't just take what he's saying for granted. Ask questions.
Or don't assume that you know it simply because you have your sense of justice is not the law. So you need to look into whatever situation you may have.
Okay, we've come to the end of Real Estate Talk. I think it was a very interesting program. I want to really thank you ladies for engaging me here and being here with me. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, and thank you to all the persons who called in and the listeners. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you.
And I would like to thank my sponsors and everyone who've helped me in this program. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Walsh, the registrar at the registry, really open and to me, giving me his ladies, beautiful young ladies, to be here, educated young ladies. And I want to thank Q95 and the team for being with me. And also I want to tell you that if you have any questions or want to visit and engage me in real estate, you can visit my website, diamondrealty.com, or you can call me at 225-2121. Until next time, be blessed.
Well, Marian, I have a question to ask.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. Property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds, your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.